Gordolf looks like your typical jerk character you'd find in entertainment media. With his snarky way of talking and the not-so-great reputation of his mage family, he comes across as the textbook example of an upper-class twit at best, or a greedy, selfish antagonist at worst when he first shows up. But Gordolf goes through some seriously satisfying character development. While he's still a comedic guy, he mellows out a lot as time goes on. His role as director really starts to shine as he gains experience dealing with the Lost Belts, and his dynamic with the rest of the crew evolves into something genuinely respectful. He shifts from someone who's more of a headache than a help to someone whose input is actually valuable. By the end, everyone sees him as a real part of the team, and he does what he can to support us. Despite his typical jerk character appearance, Gordolf has a surprising number of lovable and endearing qualities. One of the most notable is his cooking prowess. He's not just a decent cook, he's an exceptional one. He proudly calls himself the Phoenix for his unique talent of turning even spoiled meat into gourmet dishes. While Da Vinci and others might tease him about how impractical this skill seems, it proves invaluable in the Lost Belts, where the only available meat often comes from demonic beasts. His confidence in his cooking isn't misplaced either. He once believed his carbonara would be enough to get Kadok to open up, though Rasputin's sudden attack prevented him from testing this theory. Later, he's certain his breakfast dishes could win over a goddess, and he's proven right when his croissants play a role in convincing Canis to join Chaldea. Even Musashi couldn't resist his omelets in Olympus, hoping to have him cook for the victory party. During the Chaldea Summer Adventure event, Gordolf steps up as the team chef, serving everything from English breakfast to churrasco. His food is so delicious that even in the middle of serious conversations, servants pause to compliment it. He even instinctively takes over Okita Alter's attempt to roast octopus legs, ensuring they're done properly. This chef-dad transformation becomes clear, especially evident during the Chaldea Summer Adventure event, where his dynamic with the team mirrors that of a caring father with his children. His interactions with Da Vinci highlight this the most, as he shifts from needing to be placated to offering genuine support and guidance. Besides his impressive cooking skills, Gordolf has moments that, despite his a-hole character design, highlight his unexpectedly caring side. This is especially evident during the second Lost Belt, where he's visibly shaken by Gerda's tragic situation and works with Mash to reassure her that life isn't supposed to be so grim. There's also his casual remark about feeding his bacon to Foe, which is just oddly wholesome, and his reaction to Zero's sale. It's not that he's scared, it's more about him knowing that letting his guard down for even a second could spell disaster. He even takes a moment to secure his seatbelt and remind everyone else to do the same. These little glimpses of his caring side make him so much more likable. And then there's the iconic Aloha Guy cameo, where Gordolf made a trip to Hawaii. While it was partly for business, the real reason was much sweeter. He brought his homunculi along to give them one final chance to relax in the tropics before their inevitable expiration. It's honestly kind of adorable. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. There are characters who might look intimidating but have surprisingly adorable moments like this. Sure, we can easily spot someone like Mash, who's openly kind, or Boudica, with her nurturing, motherly vibes. But that's already clear from their looks and behavior. Gordolf, on the other hand, comes across as a jerk at first glance, yet he turns out to be adorably wholesome and genuinely caring. With that in mind, let's check out a few more. One of the most intimidating-looking servants has to be Vlad III. Sure, his in-game sprite might seem a bit calmer with that subtle smile, but if you've seen him in Fate Apocrypha, you know just how commanding and ruthless he can be as the leader of the Black faction. He's got that "don't mess with me" vibe written all over him. But despite his fearsome appearance, Vlad has a surprisingly adorable side, especially when it comes to Elizabeth. Turns out he actually sewed Elizabeth's outfit for the first Halloween event, the adventure of Singing Pumpkin Castle. Why? Well, Vlad sees Elizabeth as a fellow victim of the vampire legend, and he figures her attitude is just a result of a neglected upbringing. So he steps up as her parental substitute, trying to guide her down a better path. And of course, fan artists had a field day with this dynamic. Well, unfortunately, this wholesome dynamic only works with his berserker form, because the other Vlad hates her. Now, the next one. Not one to say much, stern, and giving off serious middle-aged man vibes, Yagyu Munenori fits that mold perfectly. Well, maybe more like Grandpa, since he's a bit older than Vlad. Grandpa Yagyu has this incredibly heavy, intimidating aura that makes everyone around him feel on edge. When he first meets Fujimaru, he even paralyzes them just by letting them feel his ki. And Musashi, who's always up for a duel, admits to feeling intimidated by his sheer presence alone. But here's the fun part. Despite his scary exterior, Grandpa Yagyu has a soft spot that's both oddly wholesome and hilariously modern. His interlude starts with everyone noticing he's been hogging the simulator for hours every day, setting it to random locations. Curious, Fujimaru and the crew check out what's going on. Turns out he's been using the simulator to go on virtual vacations, traveling to different times and places just to enjoy the scenery and try the food. Of course, it wasn't just for fun. He was also hunting down and taking out a shade of the caster of Limbo. But that's so wholesome. Like, you're not gonna imagine an old man like him to have that kind of experience. And let's not forget, in Chaldea Thriller Night, Tomoe Gozen shows up rocking her summer outfit with a sword style that's totally different from her usual one. She calls it the VR Shinkageryu style. And guess what? Grandpa Yagyu is the one who taught her this badass VR swordplay. He can actually connect the concepts of VR, dreams, and space, then somehow combine them to teach Tomoe this sword style. Like, seriously, what kind of old man is capable of this kind of teaching? Even Chiyome, who was with Tomoe at the time, thought that Grandpa Yagyu might just have the most rock and roll mindset of any heroic spirit in Chaldea. There's a character in the series whose annoying design and aura go beyond even Gordolf's. You know those overly dramatic antagonists in TV dramas who are so extra with everything they do? Yeah, the kind that makes you want to throw out the B word immediately. That's basically Baoban Sith in a nutshell. She's the poster girl for the most hated fairy knight in all of Britain. Sure, I get it. She's got a tragic backstory and all that jazz. I'm not denying it. But let's be real, her annoying behavior still doesn't change, in Avalon Le Fay or in her general story. That said, she does have one or two moments where she shows a rare, selfless side. One example? Her birthday lines. Now, birthday lines generally make any character seem sweet and kind-hearted. It's Fujimaru's birthday after all. But Baoban Sith's lines feel special. In her first and second ascensions, she notices Fujimaru only has work shoes and actually gifts them a new pair. Fujimaru is so shocked they're left staring in disbelief. Things take a different turn in her third ascension though. Her design here reflects her tragic past, and her mental state takes a serious hit. She constantly slips into bouts of insanity, calm one moment, raging the next, and sometimes speaking in broken, frustrated tones. But even in the middle of her chaotic mental state, if it's your birthday, she'll mutter about needing to prepare a gift and worry she won't finish it in time. Honestly, that hit me right in the feels. Even with Sith's mental state being all over the place, she still manages to show genuine care for us on our birthday. And yeah, ever since I summoned her and got her to stage 3, I haven't dropped the B word at her again. Same goes for her mom, a queen with an icy, intimidating vibe. Yeah, you probably already know a lot about Morgan and how she's actually got a good side, despite her cold looks and kind of villainous reputation. Like how she treats Fujimaru almost like a partner, the fact that she adopted Baoban Sith after the poor girl was tortured by fairies, her interactions with Mash back when she was still Aesk, and even how she calmly took down Woodwoes while praising his achievements. She's an ambitious queen through and through, right to the very end. Of course, there are still plenty of other characters with terrifying looks but surprising soft spot moments, like the ones we talked about. These were just a few examples. But what do you guys think? Who else fits the scary face, soft heart category? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time.